Before we start this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast, I wanted to remind you that the Complete Wedding Videography course will be opening for enrollment on November 14th. In this course, we cover it all: business, shooting, and editing. If you'd like to test drive the course, head over to CompleteWeddingVideography.com. There you can download a section, watch some exclusive BTS from a real wedding, and snag our wedding day questionnaire all for free. This course is designed to take your wedding filmmaking business to the next level. Again, that website is CompleteWeddingVideography.com, and we will be opening enrollment on November 14th. Now let's start this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is John Bunn. I'm wearing a backwards hat. So is Nick. I'm wearing a hoodie. So is Nick. We are becoming the same person. Nick, happy Monday to you. How are you? What is new? What is good? How's your beard? Everything. All questions.
You know, I was listening to you speak and how we are becoming the same, and it just made me giggle a little bit. Because I don't know. We kind of are becoming... John, I have something that I would like to share.
Okay.
This past week, I did something not once but twice that I think you would be pretty proud of me for. And, you're talking about us becoming, one, right? When I met you, I was charging $2,800, $3,000, something like that. And you were like, oh, you can, I'd charge a whole lot more, whatever. This week, I sent off one $20,000 quote and another $22,000 quote. The $20,000 one, they were like, we've decided to go in a different direction. Like, it was one of those things where you send something high, you're like, this would be cool, but I'm not expecting it. But I sent the $22,000 one last night, and the bride comes back and she said, what's the retainer amount? We have some payments for the venue that we need to make before Christmas, and so I just need to get all my ducks in a row. And I'm like, okay. I mean, nothing is set in stone. She was like, I'm not counting on it. But if we're going in like the right direction of things, future Nick is going to be very, very happy that past Nick just said, you know what? We're going to throw in a $22,000 quote and see what happens.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And I also saw you posted something in our Facebook group, like what's your largest quote you've ever sent out? I think it's a really good conversation to have, a really good thing to think about, because future you, we talk about this a lot, right? We talk about future you is calling. Like imagine getting a phone call. Bring, bring, bring. Hello. It is Nick from the future. Hi, I'm Nick from the future, even though I sound like John.
You do sound like John.
Future you is calling you to tell you to make decisions that are going to help you do the hard things now, so in the future you will benefit from those things. And that's something I watched you do over the last, I guess now 4 or 5 years.
Sure.
Which seems like a long time. And if you've been in business for only a couple of years, you're like, holy crap, that's a long time. But Nick has literally gone from $3,000 bookings to $15,000+ bookings in a 5-year period of time, because he's made a lot of decisions that have helped future him out. There's a lot out there, obviously, about like delaying gratification or doing something now that will benefit you in the future. And I don't know if you know or not, Nick, but today is a big day for How to Film Weddings. It's a very big day.
It is a big day for How to Film Weddings.
If you've been under a rock, maybe you haven't heard us talk about it, but our Complete Wedding Videography course opens for enrollment today at noon Central Standard Time as we drop this podcast. So if you're listening to this the week we drop it, our course is available. It's the whole thing. We're going to talk all about it today, but we don't want to just sell you our course. We want to talk to you about like making investments into you. Future you is calling. Nick, what do you have to say about that? Future you is calling. What do people need to be thinking about when it comes to making decisions that are going to help them for the future?
Yeah. Hindsight is always 20/20, right? And it's like, man, if I just would have done this, or you feel this inkling, you feel this urge, man, if I just would have done that. Whenever, like for instance, whenever John and I met, he reached out to me and asked me if I would second shoot, at a wedding for him. We were chatting a little bit, and I was like, sure. But then, it was like, I got to drive this 3 hours, there and back. And, like there were definitely thoughts in my mind that would have made me say, nope, you know what? I'm good. I'll pass. And then if I would have passed on that, like we wouldn't be where we are today. Like How to Film Weddings would not exist if I wouldn't have said yes. Like John wouldn't have asked, I wouldn't have said yes. So, we all, let me say this. We had a mentor session yesterday. And the guy asked the question. He was like, how do you deal with the pressure of charging more money? He's like, right now, I'm getting ready to film my highest booking ever, and I'm just like I'm feeling nervous about it and stuff. And he's like, how do you deal with that? And it's one of those things that as you progress forward in your business, I think you're always going to be a little bit nervous, a little bit uncomfortable at some point, right? But at some point, that uncomfortableness becomes the norm. So then you continue to push to do something else, whether that's be more creative with your edits, whether that's charge more money, whether it's networking with people or connecting with people that you wouldn't connect with, something that can propel you forward in your business. And I don't know why I shared that part, but it's kind of like that you're giving me a look like, yeah, where are you going with this? I don't know. I'll figure out when I get there. But I think my idea was, my future me is thinking, oh, I'm sure that you're nervous sending off these higher quotes and you're going to film these weddings, but eventually it evens out. And dude, I feel like it was a good thing. And I'm
I get what
this
you're
is
saying.
a problem.
No. You're Michael Scotting this. It's okay.
Finish my thought.
Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't know where I'm going and I find it along the way. No, I know what you're saying in the fact that like, you don't just turn a switch and get to where you're going. One of the things I've been doing this year is really getting my fitness in order, really getting my health in order. And I know that there are ways to lose weight fast. There are ways I could starve myself. I could really get in a caloric deficit. But I just wanted to do it the right way. I wanted to take it slow and steady so it wasn't this big, hard turn around a corner. I slowly turned into, and everything I've read is like you can lose weight really fast, but you're going to gain it back really fast if you do it in a way that's unhealthy. Yeah. And I didn't just want to lose weight. I wanted to put on muscle. I just wanted a healthier body. And I'm 10 months into a training program. I hired a personal trainer. I started tracking what I was eating. I started making decisions that were difficult in the moment. I stopped eating a lot of bread and a lot of cheese, which are my two favorite food groups. I literally could just eat those things. But I started taking steps. And I just got to a point where I was just like, I've had it. I've lost weight before. I've gained weight. I've lost weight. I've gained weight. I never got like, super out of shape or anything. But in my family, a lot of people have passed away due to health-related issues. And I just thought, I want to be around. My why was really important to me. I want to be around for my kids, for their kids. I want to be around. And so instead of just doing something fast and trying to make a big change, I started doing little things, making right decisions. And then as I fast forward 10 months later, I haven't been perfect. I've had, I've eaten things I shouldn't have eaten. I haven't exercised when I should have exercised. But overall, every step I'm taking is in the direction that I want to be going. And throughout the course of this year, I have lost 20 pounds of fat and I've gained 4.5 pounds of muscle. So it's like 20-something pound weight loss. And now whenever I accidentally eat a piece of pizza or two, it doesn't just make me gain 6 pounds back real quick. I've did things slowly and steadily the right way. And as we have been building our businesses slowly and steadily, not every day do you post on Instagram, or maybe you take a month off from being consistent over there or whatever. But if you're taking these steps and you're slowly going and growing, you will get to where you want to be going. And that's what I've seen with Nick. There have been times where he's been too busy to like really push on certain things, but we're continual students of growing and learning and taking steps towards our business. And it's been really fun to watch not only Nick, but hundreds of you all that are out there in our community take steps. My question for you, Nick, is this whole idea of the cost of not knowing something. What is it costing people out there for not knowing some of the things that they should be knowing for their business? Because I think a lot of people, especially as we're in open enrollment week here for our course, would be like, yeah, I'll get that later when I have more money. I'll invest into me on that mastermind group or on those, not just our course or whatever, or those mentor sessions with that person or whatever, but they're kind of waiting on the sideline, thinking when I get more money, I will invest into me. What do you have to say about like the cost of not knowing?
I mean, the cost of not knowing is huge, and it's. You can't really quantify it. I can't really say, oh, it's costing you $10,000 a month. It's costing you $1 million a year. It could, just some crazy number. You don't know because you literally don't know. But, I think of whenever we did our first launch with this course, and our friend Kylina, who picked it up immediately, and she watched the consultation stuff and she implemented that stuff. And I think it was like, within hours after purchasing the course, she booked her biggest package ever, which was like $4,500 or $5,000, like something which she had been charging, like 20, like she doubled her prices. Okay. Like something crazy like that in just, a short amount of time. And I bet if you were to ask someone with her, like the cost of not knowing, she's like, I wouldn't be able to have the life that I have now if I wouldn't have purchased that. And I'm not trying to saying, it was all because of us. We just gave her like the push, right? Like we gave her the tools and gave her she still did all of the work. But I thought, I was in business for 5-6 years whenever John and I met, and I was charging around $3,000. Okay. The cost of not knowing, now I'm on the other side of that, and how I have charged with weddings and the things that I have seen, and how I was able to leave my day job and pursue filmmaking full time and pursue this life that I had always dreamed of. And so I guess those are the questions that you need to ask. What are your dreams that you have for your business? What are your dreams that you have for your personal life? Do you want to quit your 9-to-5? Do you, want to spend more time with your family? Do you want to, you fill in the blank. I can't answer that question for you, but whatever that answer is right there, by you not taking action, the result of you not taking action, that could be the thing you're sacrificing. And the thing is we just don't know it.
And I think about this. I was, don't make fun of me or turn off the podcast, but I was into CrossFit for quite a while. Okay. Just breathe that in real quick. I wasn't one of those.
I've never heard that. And you're not you must not have been a CrossFit bro because
I wasn't a CrossFit bro, but I got up at the gym and went every day 5:30 for like 10 years, and I was in pretty good shape. But I didn't know a few things. Like I had never, fast forward to this year when hiring a personal trainer that isn't having me do crazy workouts that I end up tearing muscles and stuff like that. We got down to the basics, right? And he understands resistance training. He understands, and he started teaching me things. Because in CrossFit, it was like bad to do like specific, just isolated movements or whatever. And it was like, we'd make fun of people for doing that. And then when I hired the personal trainer, he's like, you're really weak in your shoulders. So we need to isolate those things to get them stronger so you don't hurt your back, so you don't lose. And just started giving me this education. He was an expert. He has taken the time to get certified, to learn these things, and was saying, I always thought I gotta run more if I want to lose fat. Like I gotta be running all the time. I gotta be doing basketball. I gotta be doing pickleball, whatever the things are that burn the most calories. I just need to burn. And he was like, what you need to do to actually lose weight is you need to build muscle. You need to use resistance training and build muscle, because the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. And I was like, I don't understand this. And I didn't know that. I knew it, but I didn't really know it. But the cost of not knowing that for me was I always had an extra 15 or 20 pounds of fat on me. I didn't feel like my muscles were and I would just do a ton of cardio, try to do all these crazy hard workouts. And my workouts have actually been much easier than they were in CrossFit, but they've been much more focused on what I needed for the results that I wanted. How does that relate to what we're doing with our course, or you investing into you? is maybe you're over there in your world thinking, this is how I edit a video. This is how I shoot a video. This is how I do consultations. But you keep hitting your head on the same thing. I'm behind. I have a backlog. I'm too far behind on my edits. I can't get the footage to look like what I want it to look like. My colors are always off. I never can close the sale. I just want to book that $5,000 wedding, whatever that is. And that's where we come in with the Complete Wedding Videography course. We named it the Complete Wedding Videography course because that's what it is. It's the complete course for you in your wedding videography business. We whittled it down, Nick, and it really, when it comes to running a wedding video business, there's business, shooting, and editing. Usually people are good at one or two of those and need help with the other. When I met you, Nick, you were really good at shooting and editing, but you weren't that great at business. You were okay at it. I, on the other hand, was really good at business and kind of good at shooting and editing. So I was actually charging more than you were charging. But the cost of you not knowing that business side of things was costing you tens of thousands of dollars a year, if not more, as well as the cost of me not knowing how to shoot manual Kelvin and how to light toasts and speeches and how to plug into the DJ's board how I needed to was costing me tens of thousands of dollars in connections. And so when we're looking at the cost of not knowing certain things, now as I'm 10 months into my training with this personal trainer, these daily conversations and learning more about my body and learning all these things, I have the tools to go forward and be fit for the rest of my life. I know what it takes. But once you have that knowledge, Nick, that doesn't just do it for you. It's like just because you know that resistance training is going to help you lose weight, that doesn't do the trick for you. You need somebody to walk alongside you and to actually show you what to do.
Yeah, totally. And that was the idea with the course. You know, we 100% believe that, you know, you need to get in and you need to do the work, but we also believe that you don't need to make the same mistakes that we did. And, you know, that's the powerful thing about a course like this, or any course or any education that is out there, right? Is that you learn from people that have done the trial and error, that have messed up, that have walked through it for a while, and you can say, "Oh, this person has built this business now." You know, your trainer, they have a 6-pack, and you're like, "Okay, you know, I'll trust you." Or, you know, it's okay. You hear that, you know, we're sending out $20,000 quotes and booking $15,000, like that legitimizes what we have done, right? But again, we want to help you in that process. Like, we want to elevate the wedding film industry. And so if we can take you from making $500 more a wedding, $1,000 more, $1,500 more in these like slow increments so it better improves your life, and you can do that all the while not doing stuff that we did, like that's so huge. Like if I could have not made some of the mistakes I would have made when I made them, I would be way more ahead than where I am right now. You know, I think about, you know, some of these people that are in their first few years, and I put that on our Facebook group last week. You're saying, hey, you know, what's the highest quote you've ever shared? You know, there are some people that listed, you know, really, really high ones and that stuff. And I'm sitting here wondering, what would the wedding video world be like if there weren't people like Matt Johnson, White and Reverie, How to Film Weddings, David and Rosa, you know, pushing the education, and we asked for those quotes. I bet those numbers would be so much lower, right? Because, you know, people aren't, you know, being educated and learning how to charge more and how to film better and that stuff. And so we're wanting to help you kind of bypass some of the groundwork that needs to be done. Like, for instance, John working out, he didn't have to school to learn that, you know, it's okay to eat this kind of food, but not this kind of food. He didn't have to go to school to learn, oh, you know, these are the type of muscle groups, and, you know, this is how much cardio you need to do versus how much strength training. He didn't have to go to school to learn that stuff. He just hired someone to tell him how to do that. And now he is way further along than he would have been if he tried to figure it out. I know we wear it as a badge of honor in this country, in the United States, like, oh, I'm self-made and I figured it out and all that kind of stuff, okay? And then you get mad whenever you see a 22-year-old charging $15,000 for their wedding. You're like, what the crap? How did that happen? Well, it's because they invested in themselves and learned from other people so that they could kind of get to where you are. And it took you 10 years to get there. And now you're just sitting there grumpy because you're mad that you didn't take the opportunity 10 years ago to learn so that you could be where they are now. So
yeah. That's
I don't
really
know if
good.
that rambling.
No, it's really good. And big shout out to McKay Films for being 22 and sending out $15,000 quotes because that's who you're talking about. And she hired us to, she was in our mastermind group. She hired us to, and she's hired several other people to mentor her. Nick and I have to tell you about one of our favorite places to upload our wedding films, and that is Love Stories TV. Love Stories TV is one of the best free resources for us wedding filmmakers. The best part is they are bringing the couples to us. All we have to do is upload our films and we are good to go. Upload unlimited wedding films to your completely free business page. Setup is easy and your films can be live in just minutes. Now is the perfect time to start uploading to Love Stories TV. So head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv to check out all of the details and see how Love Stories TV is giving away $10,000 in cash to wedding filmmakers just like you. That's howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv to start uploading and connecting with the right couples today.
One question that we see wedding filmmakers asking, what is the best site for licensing music? We have one answer, MusicBed. I have been exclusively using MusicBed since 2016 and our films are better because of it. I have been told during consultations that couples love our films because they feel raw, authentic, and that the music wasn't cheesy. MusicBed has a roster of incredibly talented musicians, bands, and composers who pour their hearts into their work, and you can hear the difference. Find the perfect song with MusicBed's intuitive search features like genre, mood, beats per minute, and key, which is probably my favorite of the search parameters. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed to do what I did and take your wedding films to the next level. Use promo code HTFW22 at checkout to receive 1 month free with the purchase of any annual subscription. That's howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed.
So one of the big things I want to make sure we hit on, Nick, and I love this analogy of like the personal trainer, because the more that I go in, the more that he can show me what to do and how to do it. And we can make fine-tuned tweaks. When we first got going, it was just like, here's how you do a lateral row. Here's how you pull this bar down. Here's how you breathe. Here's what muscle groups. He's poking my back and saying, this is the muscle groups to focus on. And over time, I start to like get repetition, right? Repetition. And not only am I learning how to do the movement that he's showing me how to do, I'm starting to get good at it, and I'm starting to progress with it, And it's this whole adage, like a lot of people educating others, it's like if you just sit in class and somebody is teaching you things, showing you how to, if you're watching videos on how to play basketball, that's great. You can learn all of the things if you're just watching somebody. But if you're actually being shown how to do it as you're working through it, that's when you get that coaching that you need that takes you to the next level. So thinking about it, the 3 different modules that we have in our course, we have business, shooting, and editing. Starting with shooting, actually, like we didn't want to just say, here's how you shoot the couple getting ready. Here's how you shoot a first look. Like we wanted to show you how we did it. So we had camera crews follow myself and Nick at different weddings, follow us around so we can show you literally what we're doing. I can't imagine having that kind of a tool when I first started doing my weddings, or even a few years into doing my weddings, to just say, oh, that's how they're getting those interviews. That's how they're miking up that bride. That's how they're getting this first look to look great, or these sunset portraits. So we show you what to do, just like my trainer was showing me what to do with certain movements. Then on the editing side of things, same thing. We had Nick walk through an entire edit, beginning to end, exactly what he does to edit his films, from importing to color grading to exporting to everything in between, telling story, so you can see exactly how we edit wedding films. And then on the business side of things, which has been one of the comments that I've heard the most, is the most helpful, is we show you how to do business. yes, we're teaching you as well. That's what the course is. But then all of the bonus material is us showing you how to do it. And so we're showing you how to run a consultation. And what better way to do that? I've recorded my Zoom calls. I just booked a $15,000 wedding. I recorded that Zoom call, said, can I put this in my course? I asked the couple and they said, absolutely. And so you get to watch as I'm showing you how to do those things. And what I've realized in hiring this personal trainer this year is he was showing me things and then I started doing them, right? That's the next step. You watch the course, you learn, then you get to watch us and see how we do it. And then you get to go put it into a practical application. You go out and shoot your wedding. You go out and start editing. You start doing consultations. And then you can show us in our private Facebook group and ask questions as you are growing and let us mentor you along the way. Like that's when the doing starts happening. You start getting those repetitions. And that's what's so cool about a course like this is not only do you get education on, the subject, you get to watch a professional do it, but then you get a personal mentor in our Facebook group with other people that are doing it. And Nick and I are in that group answering your questions. So as I've progressed with working out and working with my trainer, we've done these repetitions. He's fine-tuning certain things. Maybe you get done with a wedding film and you want to post it in our group and say, can someone watch this? Can you tell me about my colors? Can you tell me? And we can answer little questions and help you do those fine-tuning things that are going to help you get the best results. And so now you have a team of people that are on your side. And this course is something that's lifetime access. And so that's why we love the Complete Wedding Video course and all of the extra things that are in it. And that's why we love doing education like this, is because we can help people that want to go to that next level and want to invest into themselves so they can push past where they could on their own. And Nick, I know that our relationship, our friendship, having the back and forth conversation has been really important to the growth in both of our businesses. What do you want to add to anything I just rambled upon in the last 5 minutes there?
Man, no, that was, yeah. I'm sitting here and one of the things that I've been thinking about this idea of showing, and it is proven that the most effective way of learning is to do it and experience it yourself. And I know that whenever it comes to something like sales calls and that kind of stuff, you can't necessarily sit in with us and be a part of those Zoom calls, whenever we're trying to sell our business and that kind of stuff. But we have literally done the absolute best thing that we could think of that shows you how to do it without you actually being able to do it. And that is just recording those things. They're real. We get permission from our clients before we just upload those and, share those with everyone. But showing you how to do it, step-by-step process, showing you, hey, here in the edit, this is how I'm structuring it. This is how I'm placing it together. This is how I'm putting it together. And this is why I am doing it this way, so that you can learn from the things that we are thinking about. This course is massive. It has so much information in it, and it's going to be very, very helpful to you. As it goes on sale today, you might be like, man, this is a lot. I don't know. Like, can I afford this? Is this something, there's all of these questions, that fear of not knowing. And, we wanted to make it as easy as we could for you to participate and join in this course. And so you can get started today for a monthly commitment of $147. So you can get started today for $147 and be a part of this course. John, do we want to talk about, some of the other bonus stuff that is coming with it? So why don't you touch on that?
Yeah. One of the things, and again, this whole premise of show you how to do it, show you how we do it, and then walk alongside you. We've just, over the years, put together so many helpful tools for wedding filmmakers. And what we wanted to do with this launch is just include everything that we have to offer in it. Like, we really want to give you all the tools that we have. So not only in the course do you get obviously the 30 plus hours of us teaching you business shooting and editing, you're going to get the behind the scenes wedding videos of myself and Nick, like we've talked about. Last year, we added pricing guides to help show your pricing off in a better light. So many mentor sessions. We talk to people and they have terrible pricing. They don't know how to sell themselves. So we have free 3 different pricing guides that you can put your information in, put your images in, and it's just such a great, beautiful way to present your clients, your pricing. Like Nick said, real Zoom calls. I've actually also recorded real phone calls, just audio, so you can hear how I'm talking to clients on the phone when I can't see their faces. Next thing on the list that's in the course is all of our digital templates, like literally everything. If you go to our store, you can see that we have email templates, we have wedding day questionnaires, we have a consultation guide, we have financial calculators, all the different things, you get them all. We mentioned it earlier, but the private Facebook community where Nick and I have that set to our notifications to show up first. So if you ask a question in there, we will personally get back to you. The real Zoom calls, like we said, I think this, again, is worth the price of the entire course, just the Zoom calls. And then, Nick, we have actually recorded mentor sessions with people, and we've put those in the course. So different wedding filmmakers asking real questions. We've had their permission to put their mentor sessions into the course, so you can watch mentor sessions. This time as well, we just released How to Film Weddings Plus. So you're going to get 3 months of our subscription service, which is exclusive content, things like that. Lifetime access to this course is included, so you can go back. This is something we heard in our interview with Lydia last week, that she just bookmarked the course and she goes back before a wedding and watches specific sections. So that's a big question. And then the biggest, most exciting thing, I think, so that I just recorded this year and put into this course is the Wedding Videographer's Upsell Guide. And I've been asked so many different times, how do you make more money after you've booked the client? Like, what's your entire process? And so I went through and recorded a mini course that's available in our store for $300 right now. So that's included. That's basically the complete process for me adding over $2,000 per wedding on average after the initial booking. And it comes with a 25-plus page PDF that's a guide that accompanies a 45-minute training to show you exactly how I upsell everything. I mean, I know this is a lot of stuff, but like, we added up all the value, Nick, in all of these things, and it's over $10,000 of value for all of the things that are in this course. And the course, if you pay in full, is $14.97, like Nick said, or you can start for $147. So we wanted to make it easy, and that's why we've had hundreds of people join the course. And it's a weird thing to be open for something that we're selling, right, Nick? Because we get comments like, oh, that was really salesy or whatever, and we get that. Like, we understand that, and we know that we're not trying to like beat you over the head with this, but the thing that I keep coming back to is the hundreds of people that have invested into it, and our retention rate of people that want a refund is like less than 2% or something like that, or less than 3% of people. And most of the people that wanted a refund didn't go through the course, and they were just like, I can't afford this right now, or I can't, whatever. It's not because the information isn't there. But I'm sitting here recording this with you, Nick, this morning, thinking about that husband and wife team in Idaho, or that, young guy that just started his business in Tennessee, or whatever, wherever you're watching, and thinking of you on the other side of this audio. And if it frustrates a couple of people that we're selling this thing, we're okay with that. We know that 2 weeks out of the year, we can push for you to join something, because we know that it's on the future you is going to be happy that you invested. If 3 years into this course, we would have gotten lots of messages from people saying, this sucks, like, we hate this, please stop selling this, we would stop doing that. But the more that we push people to get off of the sidelines, the more that they invest in themselves and they can grow in their business. And you can get stories like Kylina's or Lydia's, or the hundreds of other stories that we get saying this was the best decision that they had in their business. Yeah. Nick, what do you want to add to it?
Yeah. If you would like to, jump on, if you would like to check out more, go to the website, which is completeweddingvideography.com. sure there'll also be a QR code if you're watching on YouTube where you can just kind of scan that. That'll pop up on screen right now. Blake, make sure you do that as you're editing this. CompleteWeddingVideography.com. There you can read our story. You can read what we've been through, and then you can see what the course is like, pay in full. If you decide to go that route, you will also get our posing guide completely for free, which is, it's just included with that pay in full as a bonus, which is 20 of our go-to poses that we use on a wedding day. And, we actually met a real couple that we had never met with before. We filmed each other, and then there's a little PDF with it where you can kind of flip through the photos and, take those with you on a wedding day if you need that. So that's a pay in full bonus. We also have some premium options with some extra stuff in that if you are interested in that. But anyway, it is all on the website, all the information there, CompleteWeddingVideography.com. And if you have any questions, if you're like, man, I'm not sure about this, you're just like, you see it there, you want it, but you're skeptical. Hey, we totally understand. We get it. Like, we know investing into yourself, it can be hard and can be a difficult decision to make. Reach out to us, especially on Instagram. So if you send us a DM at How to Film Weddings on Instagram, we will be open all next week to answer any questions that you may have.
All this week.
All this week. Yeah. Sorry about that. All this week about the questions that you may have about the course. We are keeping it open for 1 week. So you have until next week, I think Sunday night at midnight or Monday at Monday at midnight. Yeah, so that will be we will be open until November 21st at midnight. So it open for 1 week. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We want future you to succeed. Again, our whole thesis statement, our whole idea behind How to Film Weddings is we want to elevate the wedding film industry. And we know that this is something that will definitely help you in your business. And so, head over to CompleteWeddingVideography.com.
Yeah, and as we close out this episode, thanks for tuning in this whole time. We appreciate it. If you've already joined the course, thanks for listening this whole time. As we said at the beginning, future you is calling. Future you, whether it's this course or whether it's a mentor session, whether it's a workshop, whatever it is, if you're not investing into you now, you're not going to be where you want to be in the future. And we just hope that you can see that there's so many options out there for investing into you, whether it's free YouTube content, whether it's all these different, there's so many different ways. But we firmly believe that this course could be that answer for you. And like Nick said, send us a message. We're going to be talking about it all week. We've got some bonuses for the first 50 people that join. We're doing a big giveaway. You can see about that in our Facebook group, or if you're on our email list, you'll get that. So many more things. And it's going to be a good week, Nick. I'm really excited. Congratulations to you and to me for launching this. We're excited. You've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. That's funny how I said that, but I'm going to leave it.
Great.
It's a big thing for us when we open the doors. We do this twice a year, and we're so excited to meet you in our new group and for you to connect with all the people that are already in that group. So that's all I have for today. Nick, it's always good hanging out with you. Be sure to check that course out. And until next time, we'll see you.
See ya.
Are you looking for a better way to deliver your wedding films? Look no further. Our friends over at VidFlow provide the most flexible video delivery solution on the market. VidFlow is pay-per-use with no large upfront costs or commitment, and you can cancel at any time. VidFlow offers a premium viewing experience for all of your couples, accessible on mobile, tablet, desktop, as well as their very own suite of TV apps. Each project comes with 10 years of hosting and an experience for your couples that will blow them away. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/vidflow, where you can save 20% off a yearly business membership by using promo code HTFW20. Stop delivering your films the old-fashioned way. Give your couples something to rave about by using VidFlow.